The Taurus New Moon. Here is the beautiful chart of the Taurus New Moon. Let me get this down. Let me get my little, ooh, we want to be green. We want to be green. Taurus wants to be green. Look, it's even up green up in here. So what you are first looking for in a Taurus new moon is you are looking for this symbol right here, a circle with the horns. That is the sign of Taurus. And you will find at the later degrees, because now remember, these new moons are going to be in the last decan of any given sign, you are looking for the sun and the moon conjunct. That is, conjunctions are always the new moons, oppositions are the full moons, and you have all of that happening at 28 degrees, 25 minutes of Taurus. So what you're going to want to find, and in this chart, you can see here, now this is not a natal chart, obviously, but in this chart cast, we have the 11th house as being in this house of where Taurus is. So for you, that might be the 4th house, it might be the 3rd, it might be the 8th. So you want to find where this energy is concentrated. Because obviously there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's 6 planets, points, stellium in and luminary stellium in Taurus at this moment. So you're going to want to find where that is because this energy is packed in this area of your chart. And when you see that, right? So let's just say, for example, this Taurian energy was in your 5th house. Well, the 5th house is the house of Leo. So this is where your love affairs are, your like self-expression, creativity, being on stage, expressing yourself and who you are out there, that leadership, the pleasure, the romance, the holidays, the fun, the exuberance. Those could be some of the themes that are being pinged during this new moon. All right, so we have all of that. You can see there's a lot of aspects going on as well. So we'll get into all of that, but let me give you the details. So 5/19/2023, 10:53 a.m. Central Time, 28 degrees, 25 minutes of Taurus is when this new moon in Taurus happens. So let's take a look at what some of these aspects are. So we have we're going to mark this up in blue. We have a trine to Pluto in Aquarius. Here's your trine right here. And Pluto in Aquarius is at 0 degrees, 17 minutes retrograde. We also have a sextile to Mars in Cancer. So we've got this wonderful water showing up for us. And Mars is at that energetic degree. He is finalizing his time in Cancer, 29 degrees, 26 minutes. And we're not done yet. We also have this beautiful sextile as well over here to Neptune, which is at 27 degrees, 13 minutes of Pisces. And this is where we've got Saturn in Pisces. We've got that presence right now. And this is providing all of the nurturing water for the seeds that Taurus is planting in the ground, the gardening that is being done in your life, what you are working on manifesting, that is coming. And just this new moon is providing all of the nutrients, all of the water possible to make those dreams come to life. And the word that I got for this moon is budding. Budding. Now, yes, when I heard it, I meant it in my head as the budding of the seeds, what you're planting, the things that you are bringing into the world, right? This water that's nurturing it. But when I looked up the meaning of it, budding also from a biological perspective is very interesting, a word for this exact time. So budding biologically is a form, and this is quoting the Googles, is a form of asexual reproduction in which new individuals form from outgrowths or buds on the bodies of mature organisms. And then it says these buds grow by cell division and may separate or remain attached to the parent. In another sense, budding can be described as something that is just starting to grow or show promise, such as a plant or a career. So I loved from the biological standpoint, it's like new individuals form from outgrowths on the bodies of mature organisms. We talked about that. We talked about that, like go and rewind to like, I don't know, minute 20 or something like that, where we talked about standing on the shoulders of giants, standing on the shoulders of those that came before you, standing on the shoulders of your ancestors, right? We had that with the Great Gathering card, Jupiter and Taurus. And at this moment, at this time, it is this budding. So you are creating your new self from outgrowths on the body of your old self, right? Because all the things that you've had to do to get here has made you who you are today. You couldn't be where you're at in this exact moment, whether or not you feel like you like that or not. You could not be here if it wasn't for what your past selves have done. You'd be completely somewhere else. So I love that this concept of budding is not just about something starting to grow or show promise, which is absolutely evident, right? We are watering things in this chart. And with the fixed grand cross, it is absolutely evident that something is starting to grow and show promise. But there's also this other piece of it that is very personal. There's an outgrowth of you. You are changing into a new organism. You are changing your habits. You're changing who you are. You're changing your dynamic in what you are doing in this life. And that's exactly what needs to happen, but it's built off of the foundation of your prior, all the things that you've accumulated up to this point. It's like all of that is like the fertilizer that you need to grow something new. So this is another moment of what comes from these eclipses, what came from this last eclipse season, this April-May eclipse. It's time to get to work, right? And it's mature work, right? We know exactly what to do. We're in the last decan of Taurus. We're not in this new initiatory energy. We got this. Nurture. I know how to nurture. I've already planted my garden. We're not like getting the dirt to plant the garden. We've already planted the garden. And now it's time to nurture that. Now it's time to water it. And Pluto retrograde also is going to help with solidifying anything that needs to be reworked. Mercury is still, right? Like let's get a little looky loo at Mercury. Mercury is still in his shadow phase. He does not want to be pink, by the way. Like that was real. He did not want to be pink. Mercury is right here at 6 degrees, 38 minutes of Taurus, right in this melee of just massive Taurian energy. And Mercury is sitting right there, now direct, but still in his shadow. So there is still things that he can also help with reworking things. So again, we have new access points we haven't had over these moon cycles. This moon is very much, this budding is very much leading up to and into and part of this fixed grand cross we just talked about. It is very much tied into that. And a lot of, again, whatever this is being watered, whatever you are nurturing in this last degrees of Taurus, this fixed grand cross is bringing that to the table. It's bringing that into consideration. In fact, that might be what it's talking about for you.